بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. إن الحمد لله تعالى نحمده ونستعين به ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله تبارك وتعالى من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا. من يهده الله تعالى فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له، وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له، وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله. أما بعد، فإن أصدق الحديث كتاب الله تعالى، وأحسن الهدي هدي محمد صلى الله عليه وآله وسلم، وشر الأمور محدثاتها، وكل محدثة بدعة، وكل بدعة ضلالة، وكل ضلالة في النار. أسأل الله العزيز الغفار أن يجيرنا وإياكم من عذاب النار. ما زلنا في شرحنا لكتاب رياض الصالحين في باب النية، وذلك بشرح العلامة ابن عثيمين رحمه الله تبارك وتعالى. We're still in our explanation of Ryaad Assalihin. We are still in the bab, in the gate of النية, the intention that's based on the explanation of العلامة ابن عثيمين رحمه الله تعالى. وتوقفنا عند كلام ابن القيم رحمه الله عز وجل في مسألة الإخلاص. قال ابن القيم: العمل بغير إخلاص ولا اقتداء كالمسافر يملأ جرابه رملا ينقله ولا ينفعه. Ibn al-Qayyim said that any deed that is done without sincerity and not following the way of the Prophet ﷺ is like a traveler that fills his bags with sand. He goes through the burden of carrying it, but he does not benefit from it. So what is al-ikhlas? ما هو الإخلاص؟ في اللغة قال أهل اللغة: الإخلاص مشتق من خلص بفتح الخاء واللام، خلص يخلص أو يخلص خلوصا وإخلاصا، وهو في اللغة بمعنى صفى وأزال عنه شوائبه إذا كان في الماء أو في اللبن أو في أي شيء يشبهه أو غيره، فقمت وصفيته أخرجت هذه الشوائب التي لوثته، فيقال إنك أخلصته، يعني صفيته ونقيته. وفي الاصطلاح قيل أن الإخلاص هو أن يكون بتنقية الأعمال من الرياء ومن الشرك ونحو ذلك عياذا بالله رب العالمين. Linguistically, al-ikhlas, the word ikhlas, and then if you translate it, it's sincerity, but the word that's used is ikhlas, is a lot deeper than the translation suggests. It means that to purify something from any kind of impurities that change the color or the integrity of this substance, whether you're dealing with water or milk or anything like that. You use the word ikhlas when you extract any impurities that's in this particular substance. And idiomatically or technically, al-ikhlas is to purify your deeds from showiness and ascribing any partners with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in general. قال العز بن عبد السلام: الإخلاص أن يفعل المكلف الطاعة خالصة لله عز وجل، أن يفعل المكلف الطاعة خالصة لله عز وجل وحده، لا يريد بها تعظيما من الناس ولا توقيرا ولا جلب نفع ديني ولا دفع ضرر دنيوي. العز بن عبد السلام said al-ikhlas is that the believer would do the act of worship strictly for Allah's sake. He's not looking for the praise or the respect of people. He's not looking for any religious benefit or to push away any material harm. وقال سهل بن عبد الله: الإخلاص أن يكون سكون العبد وحركاته لله تعالى خالصة أو خاصة. سهل بن عبد الله said الإخلاص is for your movements or state of stillness, meaning that whether you're moving or you're still, all of that is purely for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. وقال الهروي رحمه الله: الإخلاص تصفية العمل من كل شوب. how we said that ikhlas is to purify your deeds from any impurities, and so on and so forth. Many descriptions of the ulama went through talking about ikhlas. Why all of that? Because it is crucial to our deen, to any act of worship that you and I put forth. You have to have al-ikhlas. And Sufyan al-Thawri, rahimahullah ta'ala, is from the scholars of the Tabi'een, said, مَا عَالَجْتُ شَيْئًا أَشَدَّ عَلَيَّ مِنْ نِيَّتِي إِنَّا تَتَقَلَّبُ عَلَيْهِ. Ya Allah. When someone like Sufyan al-Thawri says that, what should we say about ourselves? May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala be with us. May He subhanahu wa ta'ala forgive us. He said, I did not try to cure anything more challenging than my intention, because it keeps changing, keeps flip-flopping on me, keeps changing on me. It fluctuates, it turns all the time. That's what makes it very difficult to work on, subhanAllah. And we finished yesterday morning speaking about the actual hadith, the most famous hadith when it comes to al-ikhlas, when it comes to al-niyah, the hadith that you'll find that the majority of the books of the sunnah start with. And subhanAllah, hadithun umdatun fi din, they say that this is a fundamental hadith in the whole religion of Islam. حديث عمر بن الخطاب سمعت رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم يقول إنما الأعمال بالنيات وإنما لكل امرئ ما نوى فمن كانت هجرته إلى الله ورسوله فهجرته إلى الله ورسوله ومن كانت هجرته بدنيا يصيبها أو امرأة ينكحها فهجرته إلى ما هاجر إليه. Go back to the hadith. Umar ibn Khattab radiallahu anhu said that I heard the Prophet ﷺ say that إنما الأعمال, verily the deeds are according to the intentions and to each what he intended. So whoever makes his migration for the sake of Allah and His Messenger, then his migration is for the sake of Allah and His Messenger. And whoever makes it that his migration is for something from the life of this world that he attains, or of a woman that he weds, then his migration is for that which he migrated for. And we start with the explanation of Shaykh ibn Uthaymin of the actual hadith. قال رحمه الله تعالى لما كان هذا الباب في الإخلاص إخلاص النية لله عز وجل وأنه ينبغي أن تكون النية مخلصة لله في كل قول وفي كل فعل وفي كل حال ذكر المؤلف من الآيات ما يتعلق بهذا المعنى. Shaykh ibn Uthaymin said, well, since this gate or this chapter is about al-ikhlas, is sincerity for your intention, your niyyah for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that it has to be, everything that you do has to be strictly for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, whether you say or you do something in the deen of Allah or any situation or condition. Then he said the al-mu'allif, the author of the book, Imam al-Nawawi rahimahullah ta'ala, mentioned many ayat from the Quran at the beginning, and then he will mention some ahadith that speak about that. وصدر بهذا الحديث بحديث عمر بن الخطاب الذي قال فيه سمعت رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم يقول إنما الأعمال بالنيات وإنما لكل امرئ ما نوى. Then he started with this particular hadith being the most important hadith when it comes to the intention, the hadith of Umar. Verily the deeds are according to the intentions and to each what he intended. Then he said, هاتان الجملتان اختلف العلماء رحمهم الله فيها. These two sentences, the scholars of Islam have a difference of opinion. Why did he say that? Because it sounds like it's redundancy. It's repeating the same thing. إنما الأعمال بالنيات وإنما لكل امرئ ما نوى. At first look, especially in the Arabic language, the meaning of both sentences seems to be the same. SubhanAllah, verily the deeds are according to the intentions and to each what he intended. قال فقال بعض العلماء إنها جملتان بمعنى واحد وإن الجملة الثانية تؤكد الجملة الأولى. He said that these, according to some scholars, these two sentences, they mean the same thing. It's just that the second sentence reinforces the first one. ثم قال ولكن هذا ليس بصحيح. He said this is not true. وذلك لأن الأصل في الكلام أن يكون تأسيسا لا توكيدا. He said because the the fundamental, or when it comes to the kalam, the wording or the sentences, it is a foundation, not a confirmation. Subhanallah. ثم إنهما عند التأمل يتبين أن بينهما فرقا عظيما. He said that after contemplating, you realize that these two sentences have there's a big difference between them. فالأولى سبب والثانية نتيجة. الأولى سبب والثانية نتيجة. He said that the first sentence is the cause and the second sentence is the effect. So you have the cause and effect. الأولى سبب يبين فيها النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم أن كل عمل لابد فيه من نية. The first sentence is a cause. The Prophet ﷺ shows us that there is no deed out there that you can do without an intention. Anything that you do, you gotta have an intention for it. Otherwise, you will not be able to do it at all. It is human nature. فكل عمل يعمله الإنسان وهو عاقل مختار فلا بد فيه من نية. Any deed that a person does that he's sane and choosing, being able to have a choice, he cannot do it without having an intention. ولا يمكن لأي عاقل مختار أن يعمل عملا إلا بنية. And he's repeating the same meaning. You have to have an intention to do anything. It is just part of human nature. حتى قال بعض العلماء, said that some scholars said that if we were able to put you in charge of something, tell you to do something, do any kind of deed, and then we tell you do it without having any intention, it is just like لكان من تكليف ما لا يطاق, and like putting you in charge of something that is impossible to do. It's an impossible task to do anything without an intention. ثم قال وهذا صحيح كيف تعمل وأنت في عقلك وأنت مختار غير مكره كيف تعمل عملا بغير نية. And he said this is true. How can you possibly do any kind of deed while you are sane and choosing without having an intention? هذا مستحيل. This is impossible. لأن العمل ناتج عن إرادة وقدرة. Then because deed is a combination of a will and an ability. A will to do something and the ability to do it. Then he says, then so based on that, the first sentence, it means that there is no deed without any intention. ولكن ثم قال ولكن النيات تختلف اختلافا عظيما. But the intention is the same. There's an intention for everything, but the intentions, subhanAllah, there's a huge difference between them. وتتبين بعيدا كما بين السماء والأرض. You could find the disparity between intentions as like the difference and the space between the heavens and the earth. ثم قال من الناس من نيته في القمة في أعلى شيء ومن الناس من نيته في القمامة في أخس شيء وأدنى شيء. He said, then you'll find people that have their intention is in the loftiest of things, and you have people that have, subhanAllah, literally he said their intention is in the trash can. People that strive for loftiness, and people that, subhanAllah, strive for things that are in the lowest of the low. حتى إنك لترى الرجلين يعملان عملا واحدا. Subhanallah. You find that two people do the same deed. Look at them, they do the same deed. Subhanallah. يتفقان في ابتدائه وانتهائه وفي أثنائه. You'll find that there's no difference when they do their deeds, from the beginning, in the end, in the middle, all of it is the same. وفي الحركات وفي السكنات. And subhanAllah, their movement and their stillness, then it's the same thing. Aqwal, and when they say things and do things, it's the same thing. But subhanAllah, you'll find that the difference between them is like the difference between the heavens and the earth. Why? Because of the difference of intention. One person has his intention to be lofty, and the loftiest intention is when you do things for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and you have someone that his intention is the lowest of the low, because he does things for other sakes. And subhanAllah, it brings us to a very strong hadith that talks also about the intention. You see where the intention gets you. This is a famous hadith of At-Tirmidhi on the authority of Abu Kabsh al-Ammali, حديث أبي كبش الأنماري رضي الله عنه. قال سمعت رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم يقول: ثلاثة أقسم عليهن وأحدثكم حديثا فاحفظوه. There are three things that I will swear an oath upon, and I'll tell you these words that you should memorize. ما نقص قال ما نقص مال عبد من صدقة. Then that subhanallah, your wealth will never decrease from charity. Subhanallah, imagine your Prophet is telling you, when you give a charity for the sake of Allah, if you have $1,000 and you gave $400, how much you have left? According to the Messenger of Allah, not according to our math. How much you have left? $1,000. That's what the Prophet is telling you. That means that Allah Ta'ala will replace it so quickly, and you get the reward of it on top of it. Subhanallah. مَا نَقَصَ مَالٌ. He said, oh, this is something I swear an oath upon, that your charity will never decrease your wealth. وَلَا ظُلِمَ عَبْدٌ مَظْلَمَةً فَصَدَرَ عَلَيْهَا إِلَّا زَادَهُ اللَّهُ عِزًّا. And there's not a servant that is oppressed, except that, and he's patient, except that Allah Ta'ala will increase his honor. وَلَا فَتَحَ عَبْدٌ بَابَ مَسْأَلَةٍ إِلَّا فَتَحَ اللَّهُ عَلَيْهِ بَابَ فَقْرٍ. There's not a servant that opens a door of begging, except that Allah will open a door of poverty for him. وَأُحَدِّثُكُمْ حَدِيثًا فَاحْفَظُوهُ. And I will tell you another these words you should memorize. إِنَّمَا الدُّنْيَا لِأَرْبَعَةِ نَفَرٍ. Truly, the life of this world is for four types of people. عَبْدٌ رَزَقَهُ اللَّهُ مَالًا وَعِلْمًا فَهُوَ يَتَّقِي فِيهِ رَبَّهُ وَيَصِلُ فِيهِ رَحِمَهُ وَيَعْلَمُ لِلَّهِ فِيهِ حَقًّا. He said that a servant that Allah Ta'ala gave wealth and He gave him knowledge. So that wealth, he fears Allah Ta'ala in that wealth. And he connects his ties of kingship with it, and he knows the rights of Allah on that wealth. فَهَذَا بِأَفْضَلِ الْمَنَازِلِ. This one is in the best of situations. وَعَبْدٌ رَزَقَهُ اللَّهُ عِلْمًا وَلَمْ يَرْزُقْهُ مَالًا. And a servant that was given knowledge, but he was not given wealth. فَهُوَ صَادِقُ النِّيَّةِ. But he is true, subhanallah, he is sincere in his intention. يَقُولُ لَوْ أَنَّ لِي مَالًا لَعَمِلْتُ بِعَمَلِ فُلَانٍ. He says that if I had any wealth, I will do just exactly like so and so. The first one that has wealth, subhanallah. ثم قال صلى الله عليه وسلم فهو بنيته فأجرهما سواء. Because based on his intention, him and the first person that has wealth, they'll be equal when it comes to their reward. One with his wealth that he gives for the sake of Allah, and the second one because of his intention. SubhanAllah. Look at how powerful the intention is. SubhanAllah. Then comes the fourth one. SubhanAllah. وَعَبْدٌ رَزَقَهُ اللَّهُ مَالًا وَلَمْ يَرْزُقْهُ عِلْمًا. A person that was given wealth, but he was given no knowledge. فهو يخبط في ماله بغير علم. فهو يخبط في ماله بغير علم. يخبط. Subhanallah, if you translate it, it's like someone with a baseball bat, a big stick, and he's like just going through stuff, breaking it. Just like you release a bull, a Spanish bull in a China shop. They just let it go, rampage through it, break everything. This is how the Prophet described a person with wealth, but no knowledge. That's how he goes through his wealth. Subhanallah. لا يتقي فيه ربه. He doesn't fear Allah in his wealth. ولا يصل فيه رحمه. He does not use the wealth to connect with his kingship. ولا يعلم لله فيه حقا. He does not know the rights of Allah in that wealth. فهذا بأخبث المنازل. And this one is in the worst of situations. وعبد لم يرزقه الله مالا ولا علما. And then this is the fourth category. A slave that was not given neither wealth nor knowledge. فهو يقول لو أن لي مالا لعملت فيه بعمل فلان. This is subhanallah. He says that if I had a wealth, I would do just like subhanAllah, or the guy number 3, the one that has wealth but no knowledge. فَهُوَ بِنِيَّتِهِ فَوِزْرُهُمَا سَوَاء. Because based on his intention, him and the other person that was mentioned before him, they have the same sins, the wizard. They will have the same transgression sins in their record on the day of reckoning. One based on things that he actually did, and the other one based on his intention. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to clean our intentions. We ask Him subhanahu wa ta'ala to make us ones that have correct intentions in our deeds and follow the footsteps of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam in doing them. أقول قولي هذا وأستغفر الله لي ولكم. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك. الحمد لله رب العالمين وجزاكم الله خيرا.